business owners, what about a pension for yourself? Today, we discuss how to set one up, then how to not let money anxiety get the better of you. And we snack on the benefits of a meal prep service. All this and more on today's episode of The Wealthy Life. Welcome to The Wealthy Life. Are you a business owner wanting to ensure you have a retirement fund set up? With us today is financial advisor April Dorey to talk about how to set up your own pension plan. April, welcome to The Wealthy Life.
Thanks, Sybil. It's great to be here. You know, in my career so far, I've devoted myself to helping individuals build their wealth. And I got into this over 20 years ago because I had to learn at a young age how to take care of myself financially, and I think it's extremely important for you as individuals to do that for yourselves as well.
Oh, it sure is. So growing up, was it a struggle for you?
Not really, but I did, I moved out young, and I quickly learned how important money is. Money gives you choices and opportunities, and not having money, you don't have choices or opportunities. So, I've devoted my life to helping individuals and families build and protect their wealth.
Which is great, because it takes a lot of stress off if you've got your financial situation under control. So when it comes to business owners and retirement planning, some of them are a bit jealous because they don't have a pension plan like other companies offer, but they're the business owner, so they've got to create their own.
That's right.
What are their options?
Well, the best option, I would say, is an individual pension plan. It's something that not a lot of people understand, and it's suitable for anyone who owns their own corporation.
Okay, so would it be suitable for a professional corporation as well, or a sole proprietor, or just a corporate?
A professional corporation is fine, as long as it's a corporation, not a sole proprietorship or a partnership.
Okay, so dentists and doctors,
Absolutely.
They would qualify as well. What's the difference between an IPP and an RRSP?
An RSP is available to any Canadian earning an income, whereas an individual pension plan takes a little bit more work to set up. Your contributions are made by your company or you, so you have some choices and a little more flexibility with some planning opportunities.
So why is an IPP maybe a better choice for a business owner than an RSP? Is there more contribution room?
Absolutely, that's one of the reasons. An interesting thing, an individual pension plan enables larger contributions as you get older. So it's not only your income that's taken into account, which is part of the factors, but the other thing is your age. So that's why you'll see, we start bugging our clients when they kind of hit 40. So it's not only a bad thing when you hit 40, it's also a planning opportunity.
Okay, so when an individual pension plan with contributions picking up maybe in later years, is it because of actuary tables, or what is the formula? How is it based?
Well, it's a complex calculation, and the actuary, yes, they'll take into account your life expectancy, your age, your earnings, and all of that. And what happens is every 3 years, your business has to provide some information to an actuary who does some math and comes back with a table. So that enables some interesting facts. So if you, for example, were a very conservative investor and just wanted completely safe GICs or things like that, your actuarial performance would be underperformance because they want you to earn an average of 7.5%.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't it be nice to always get 7.5%?
Would be amazing. And so what it keeps is that if you did this underperformance, you'd have larger contributions than normal. Or let's say if you, invested in something that went through the roof, you may have a smaller contribution room for the next few years because you may have earned 12 or 20% or something like that.
Okay, so it's very similar to other companies offering pension plans where defined benefits down the road, this is not a defined benefit, so I don't want people to be confused by that, but there's got to be a certain amount of money in the plan in order to generate the retirement income needed for life. And so in order to meet that need at a future date, if you underperform, you need to put in more money. Now, not everyone wants to put more money away, but you get a tax deduction for doing that.
Right, and actually it is a defined benefit. So with the IPP, you are creating a defined benefit, and that gives the plan owner the option. Now, most people register their plans federally, which means that in bad years, or let's say the actuary comes up with a number you just don't want to put aside, you don't have to. So you get the option of not filling up your plan at that time, but it gives you the option.
Okay, so if you are a more aggressive investor, a higher risk investor, then maybe an RSP would be better because it can grow and you can keep putting in money every year. Your contribution limit doesn't change, because if you outperform in an IPP, then you might be limited on how much you put in. Is that?
That's true.
Okay.
That's
but
true.
I guess on the flip side, then you don't have to put as much money away. So either way, everybody wants great returns.
Exactly.
Where can people go for more information?
They can go to heartwealth.ca.
April, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you, Sybil.
And after the break, how you can build a healthy relationship with money.
The Wealthy Life is brought to you by investment dealer Raymond James. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Do you find money a source of anxiety? Mary Hagerman, portfolio manager and author of Black Belt Investor, is joining from Montreal to help you conquer those emotions. Mary, welcome to The Wealthy Life.
Thank you.
So Mary, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, it came from like over 20 years of being a martial artist. I've been doing karate for over 20 years, and it takes a lot of discipline. And when I got my second Dan black belt, I hung my diploma up on the office wall, and a colleague came in and said, "Wow, Mary, didn't know you did martial arts. Are you telling your clients about this?" And that kind of, it struck a chord with me. And I said, for sure, all of this discipline that I've been putting into learning karate to getting a second and then later a third Dan, all of this has translated into my work as a money manager. So I thought I would put the steps to becoming a black belt to use that to teach people how to achieve wealthness.
It's brilliant. I love it. When it comes to anxiety, money does cause a lot of stress for a lot of people. And I'm sure that working it out in the gym, doing karate, must help alleviate some of that anxiety and stress for you. But we're not going to talk about that today. What are the main causes of anxiety for people when it comes to money?
Well, of course, if people have difficulty making ends meet, that's going to create a lot of anxiety. But above and beyond that, if it's this feeling that we don't have any control over our financial situation, many people, aren't quite too sure what's coming in. They're not too sure what's going out. They're not quite too sure if they're doing the right thing with the money. That does stick around. And then they're not talking about it. So the uncertainties they have kind of build up and create a lot of anxiety. So money is part of our everyday life and part of many of our decisions. So that anxiety gets translated into a lot of things.
So how do people reduce anxiety when it comes to their money?
Well, reducing the anxiety comes first and foremost with gaining a sense of control over your money. So what you want to achieve is that you control money and not money controls you.
Easier said than done, I think, for a lot of people. And some people prefer to ignore it. Okay, so you take control.
And as we say in the martial arts, you can't fight the opponent you do not know or you cannot see. So you have to lay the numbers out on the table and do a bit of homework. So you have to know your budget, have an idea of your budget, of your net worth. You should have some sort of semblance of a plan in place, and you should have an area where you can organize your financial affairs. You know, some might be on the computer, but there might be papers too. I call that your financial dojo. Okay, so dojo is where we practice martial arts. That's where you go to get your life in order, to get your financial house in order. And all of this, including the conversations too that you'll have with your family, with your loved ones about the work that you're doing and the numbers that you see in front of you, all of this will help alleviate anxiety and give you that sense of control.
So face your fears. And just
face your fears.
Get those numbers, get the money, get the spreadsheets, get it in front of you. You need to look at it. Ignorance is not bliss in this case.
For sure. But, you know, you say ignorance and bliss in the same sentence, and that's very good because getting rid of ignorance will create bliss. That is the meaning of wealthness, okay? So the idea is not that you're on this perpetual treadmill, you know, sorting through your financial affairs and always hating every second of it. No, it's that you get yourself on track, you do the work that's needed to achieve the goals that are really meaningful for you. So that when you sit down to do this, you actually feel good about it. You feel like you're getting somewhere. You feel like you're achieving something.
Oh, I feel better just talking to you. There's a calmness about your voice. So where can people start? Like, what's one baby step people can take to face their fear right away?
Well, there's the organizational element that I just alluded to, but I think what is critical and what we don't talk about enough is to have a consciousness exercise in our daily habits. It could be meditation. It could be a sport such as running or yoga that allows us some regular internal introspection. And we have to go deep inside. Why? Because why is an important word. And we have to keep asking ourselves that question. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why did I do this plan like this? Is this what really makes me happy? And when we answer those questions, when we have, and you can't do that without taking some dedicated time to go deep inside and figure out what's going on, and then talking to loved ones about it. And once you've done that, well, then you feel so connected to your desires that it makes making a plan much easier. And it certainly makes, as you said earlier, it turns ignorance into bliss. And it makes being on the path to wealthness so much more enjoyable.
Well, understanding the why is motivating. And for those of you who want to learn more, we have a limited number of Mary's books to give away. So contact us at thewealthylife.com. Mary, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. It was fun. Thanks.
And after the break, find out how to save time and money while eating healthy.
The Wealthy Life is brought to you by investment dealer Raymond James. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Time is money. Is it possible to save both while eating healthy? Master cook John Watson joins us today to explain the benefits of meal preparation and delivery services. John, welcome to The Wealthy Life.
Thank you.
So what do you like best about feeding people?
Well, I like saving them time, you know, taking the time out of your day to do grocery shopping, to cook, to prep, to clean. It all takes time.
Oh, it does. And I know I personally struggle to fit it all in a day. So what are some of the options available to make my life easier?
Well, there's a couple of different meal prep options out there right now. You can buy boxed meal prep that kind of comes to you, and you have to create the recipe yourself, and you have to do the cooking. You have to do pretty much the cleaning after the prep.
But at least you've saved the grocery store time.
Exactly. You don't have to go to the grocery store, but there is a little bit of packaging involved, so that, you know, is a downside as well to that. And then you have the meal prep companies such as myself that we do all the cooking for you. We prepare it, we box it, we seal it, it gets shipped to your home, and then all you have to do is reheat it and eat it.
Oh, I like the sounds of that. What type of meals do you prepare? Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner?
We do everything. We do snacks, we do lunches, we do breakfast, we do soups, we do dinners, we even do sides of chicken, sides of vegetables, and so you can mix and match and make your own kind of meals how you feel fit.
You know, one of the struggles with time is people tend to take shortcuts. So they buy processed foods or they fast foods, eating on the fly. But this is a healthy version of a fast food.
Absolutely, yeah. We do nothing but whole foods, so I don't buy anything that's processed, nothing that I can't pronounce the label on the back of the tin of tomatoes that I'm buying at the time.
So what's your favorite recipe or your favorite meal, or what's the most popular one?
Right now, we've got a taco salad that sells really well. We do a cottage pie that sells really well, a lasagna. So we do a lot of comfort foods.
Oh, which is great. So on average, when people get this, how long does it take to heat it and then eat it?
3 minutes.
Well, 3 minutes to heat it, definitely not 3 minutes to eat it, but okay, so that's really quick. And packaging, you mentioned that there's less packaging this way?
Yeah, well, everything that we use right now is all completely recyclable, from the plastic bags that we vacuum seal from, they get turned into biofuel, and then also the containers that we use get sent back to us. We wash them as long as we can reuse them. If they're broken or anything like that, then we just recycle them as well.
So this sounds like a dream, but it must cost a fortune. Is it really expensive to have this type of service?
Well, it's more expensive than if you were to buy groceries and cook it yourself at home, obviously, because we got to pay for our time and the cooks and the delivery and everything. But, you know, on average, our average client spends about $100 per week with us.
Wow.
So,
and how many meals would that get?
That will get you about 8 of the dinner meals, and they're quite big. Sometimes they feed 2 people.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty hard to cook a meal yourself at home for that price.
Absolutely.
So how much time does the average person save?
I would say probably about an hour and a half per day. I would say from grocery shopping to the prepping to the cleaning to the cooking.
Imagine what you would do with an hour and a half more time a day. You know, I might actually hit the gym more often.
Who knows?
Maybe I'd spend time with the family, which is always good. Less dishes, too. That's
Yes,
important.
Absolutely.
Going to the grocery store also, it's not good for the environment if you're driving there. So there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah, and some people don't like the grocery store.
No.
No.
Well, I don't like the grocery store.
don't
And what do
either.
you buy?
I have to do it every
and even
week.
just figuring out recipes. So how do people decide what they want to eat for the week? You've got lots of choices. Is it pre-planned on your end? Do people pick and choose what they
Yeah,
want?
well, we have a different menu every week that rotates every month. So I do 4 weeks, and then it kind of rotates back around again. So week 1 will be different than week 2, and week 3 and week 4, and then it comes back around again. And I keep the ones that are selling really well that people like, and I get a lot of feedback from my clients. And yeah, so I have probably about 40 options every week.
So how about the fussy eaters or food sensitivities? That's becoming more common.
Absolutely, yes.
So how do you accommodate those?
Well, we do a pretty good job of keeping everything's gluten-free that we do, and then we don't use any refined sugars, so that's a big thing for a lot of people. And then if someone wants customizable meal plans, then we can accommodate that as well.
So with 40 different options in the week, can people sign up for just 3 dinners a week? Or do they sign up for all 7? Do they do 1 a week? Is there minimums?
Well, we have a minimum spend of about $85 per week.
Okay.
That's kind of but it's free delivery, so we eat the cost of the delivery, so people will spend that much. And then that doesn't really, that gets you a lot of food for the week.
Great. So everything comes in one box. It goes in the fridge.
Yep.
And then day by day, you just pull out what you need, heat it, and eat it.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's your favorite breakfast?
Right now, our egg muffins.
Oh, and how are those to heat up? And do they get soggy?
There's 2 ways that you can heat them up. They come in a vacuum sealed bag, so you can either put them in a pot of simmering water and just simmer them for about 3 minutes, or you can cut a corner and put them in the microwave and then heat them up in about 2 minutes.
Wow. This is just easy peasy. So for those of you out there, though, that really do enjoy cooking, then one of those other delivery services where they've done all the planning for you and provide all the ingredients might be your preferred option. But for those of you who are too busy and don't want to cook, don't want to clean up, then preparation and delivery is the ideal choice.
Absolutely, and even if you just need a couple of days off, right, it's not a bad idea to have some of the meals in the fridge ready to go in case you have a hectic day or things don't go right.
Well, this is great, John. For those of you who want some help meal planning, contact us at thewealthylife.com. And John, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you.
When we return, find out where to get a down payment for first-time homebuyers. Welcome back. Thanks for your emails, tweets, and messages. Today's question is from Kayla. Dear Sybil, I am 32 years old and excited to buy my first home. I need to make a $25,000 down payment, and I'm wondering if I should use my savings or borrow from my RSP instead. Which is the better option? Well, Kayla, congratulations. How exciting to buy your first home. It's such a great benefit that first-time home buyers in Canada have of borrowing from their RSP to come up with that down payment money. You can pull the money out of your RSP tax-free, which is fantastic, but I want you to consider you will need to repay that. It's over a 15-year maximum time period, so you do have some time to repay it, but you still do have to repay it. Also to consider is once you pull it out of your RSP, you are missing out on the tax-deferred compounding benefits over time. It is going to impact your retirement income later. So generally, if you have savings set aside that are not part of your RSP, I recommend using those instead. However, there are a couple of exceptions. With every new home buyer, there's emergency and surprises that come up with being a homeowner. You might need a new roof. You might need a hot water tank. Do you have access to the capital, the cash you may need? Do you have a line of credit set up that you could tap into? If the answer is no, then you might want to leave your savings aside to help pay for some of those surprises that may pop up from time to time, and therefore do use your RSP. The other thing to consider is which is earning the higher rate of return. You want to spend the money that is the lower rate of return because you want to leave the higher rate of return investments working for you over the long run. I'd like you to have your cake and eat it too. I want you to buy your home, have a down payment, but also make sure that you leave all of your savings or as much of it intact as possible to set yourself up for a really successful retirement. And that wraps up this edition of The Wealthy Life, helping you make smart financial decisions. Join the Wealthy Life Club by becoming a member at thewealthylife.com. You'll get access to everything you need to live your wealthy life.